welcome to another episode of Dad Can We Talk? I'm your host, Anthony Ray, and today is episode 42. And today is a special day, another special day, because we are starting our partnership with 6 O'Clock Studios, where we are located right now, man. So shout out to my man, T. Whitey. Man, you look out for me. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everything you're doing for me, looking out for me, man. So definitely much love. If y'all need some studio time, if y'all want to do a photo shoot, if you're an artist and you need an interview, a podcast interview, man, holla at my man at 6 O'Clock Studios, straight up and down like 6 o'clock. Holla at my man T. Whitey on Facebook at 6 O'Clock Stu, and holla at him, man, if you need that work. But today, I'm sitting here with my man Andre Felder. We gonna get it in today, man. You know, y'all know what we do at Dad Can We Talk. We talk all things fatherhood. And today, I'm just excited to talk with this man right here, man. We've known each other since, we would go back to what, Metcalf days, right? Bishop. Cause what element you went to?
I went to Rollins.
So you were at Rollins.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go all the way back to 6th grade.
I'm pretty sure I played basketball with you at Metcalf, though.
Yeah. So, you know, Northeast Gainesville. You know, we both grew up in that same area, man. But we definitely went to school together since 6th grade, man. So our relationship goes way back. Way back, man. So, over the years, you know, I paid attention to my brother, man, and I seen that he was a father, seen that he was married, and I'm like, okay, I can't wait to get my brother on here, man, you know, to really get it in, man, because it looked like he's doing some great things, man, you know. He definitely ain't Andre that I knew from middle school, you know, high school, man. So, yeah, I'm excited to really get his perspective, to hear his experience on fatherhood, man. So, we gonna get it in. So, the way I like to start out every interview, man, my first question I always ask is, what was your relationship like with your dad?
That can be a little complicated of a question.
Yeah.
But I got we call him a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Sperm donor, biological father. Him and my mom split when I was like 9 months, and I haven't really had a relationship with him. Kind of awkward every time I go around him. But like right after that, my mom stepped in with my stepfather.
Okay.
And he's been with me since I was 9 months.
Yeah.
And so I view him, and I say pops or dad, that's automatically who I think of. And I had a great relationship with him. He was always, ever since I can remember, he was always there when I needed him. He wasn't the mushy, gushy type of father figure. He was more of the provider type, and I'm going to instill some fear in you.
Okay.
Instill some fear, so you know I can keep you in line. He kept us in line by instilling fear in us, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, he was real cool. He taught us about a lot of life lessons. I still keep in contact with him to this day. It's been whenever I need to really talk about something, I can always call him. I know he's gonna pick up the phone, or at least he's gonna call me back. But it's been gravy, man. I couldn't ask for a more powerful or a better father figure from my perspective.
Yeah.
And I mean, even for sperm donor, he was, when I needed a scooter in the 9th grade, he sent me $300 to get that. So I mean, I'll talk to him maybe once every 5 years or something like that. But I appreciate that scooter.
Yeah. So, as you've grown older, has he ever just come around, and have y'all ever really had that talk as you've gotten older?
We tried. It seems like every time I try to bring it up,
yeah,
he's open to the idea, but it's such an awkward situation, man. It's such an awkward situation. He's like, yeah, one of these days we're gonna have that talk, son.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I look forward to it, Pops.
Yeah.
Man, 7 years later,
Nothing.
10 years later, nothing come creeping across. But he throw little things here and there, give me little hints here and there about how to have a good relationship with your significant other. I should say that. But other than that, now I mean we just try to avoid that awkward conversation. Even though we shouldn't, we really shouldn't, because I know he would spill the beans on everything he know. It's just one of the things you can't get over. I can't get over.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a difficult conversation, man. You know, knowing from experience, you know, me and my dad having that conversation was not. It wasn't, you know, a nice conversation. You know, we kind of went in, and I would say more than anything, I went in, and you know, and it came. I think I could have done it better, because after me and him had that conversation in the midst of an argument that wasn't necessarily an argument between me and him, but I was dealing with him on something that he had going on with my brother and my sister. And I just took it as an opportunity to like go in. And I just kind of let him know how I feel, you know, and how my brother and my sisters feel also.
Right.
And he kind of felt some type of way about it, said what he had to say, and I'm just like, man, whatever. Like, I really don't care, bro. You know, and he felt how he felt, and I said some things, and I felt like I hurt his feelings. You know, I do. I would say that's one thing I think I regret. I was a little hard, you know, but I think it was something he needed at the time.
Right.
Because like when I tell you I went in, I ain't hold back no punches, bro.
Yeah.
I went in, man.
Like I said, I had that fear factor in me, boy. But you get to a certain point in life where you realize, look, it's all on the table now.
Yeah.
It's all on the table. You got to know how I'm feeling, and I got to know how you feeling.
Yeah.
About everything. I just wasn't that ball.
Yeah.
I had too many close contacts. Too many close ones.
So what I would say, you know, when you do have that conversation with them, I think it's good, you know, make sure it's like, you know, mutual. Both sides, you know it's coming. And y'all, you know, just do it in a way to where it's a mature conversation, you know. Don't hold anything back, but like I said, if I regret anything about it, I just regret the way that I went about it.
Right.
Because like, you know, I said a lot of things that I didn't necessarily mean, but I will say this, I think it pierced him to his heart to hear those things, you know, and to hear that raw emotion come out. And he called me maybe 2 weeks later after that, and he apologized. And ever since then, bro, literally, bro, that was maybe September 2019. Ever since then, bro, we've been good, bro. Like, for real. Like, we built a great relationship. Like, we talk almost every other day now, you know.
That's great, man.
So, but it came from that one conversation where I spazzed on that man, bro. Like, he was just some person in the streets.
Yeah, I almost feel like you kind of broke the ice there. You know what I'm saying? The ice that has been there for a long time. Yeah. And you kind of just broke through it. And that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I don't feel like there's necessarily that ice factor. Yeah. With me, I mean, I'm sure there's some things that we definitely could chat about, but I don't know. I'm not so certain that it will have that significant of an impact. Yeah. Because like I said, we have such an when I say my dad, I'm talking about my stepfather. Yeah. And we have such a great relationship that I don't really see it getting much better. I mean, I guess we can talk more frequently, but everybody got busy lives, man. The only person I really talk to on a daily basis is my wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, shout out to the wives out there, man.
Agree.
Shout out to wifey.
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to 6 O'Clock Studios too, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say this is quite the nice studio. I was amazed when I walked in here.
Yeah.
It's real sweet, man. Got lights going everywhere.
Yeah.
Got the real good vibe, studio vibe going on. Got these comfy chairs here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Appreciate that.
Yes, 6 O'Clock Studios, man. T. Whitey, boy. You real. That's a real dude right there, man. So, what was your first reaction when you found out that you was about to become a father?
Well, I'm gonna be straight with you now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be straight. A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
When I first found out, I was a freshman. I met my wife as a freshman in college.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally summer B.
Yeah.
And I met my wife, and you know, one thing led to another,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, like it was like 3 months later, man. She's like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm a freshman in college, man. I got
So
my
you
whole
about
life.
18,
I
19.
barely. I mean, I know she's the one. You know.
Yeah.
Right now, she's my girlfriend. I know she's the one, but I don't. I mean, do I know it like 100%?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
All right.
I'm terrified. So I didn't know what to do. We both overreacted. We both regret the decision, but at that time we had an abortion.
Yeah.
I remember talking to her, man. We were just sitting down. I mean, we were just crying, man.
Yeah.
We were just crying because we know that our actions led to this bad decision.
Okay.
That's never something that one wants to admit,
Mhm.
but we regret it to this day. So we decided, okay, we won't do that again, ever. We never, ever going to do that again. We was young, dumb, living life on the flywheel, man. We just doing things. But as I got older, and I got into graduate school, we kind of had a consensual talk that, okay, this is probably, we're both young. I think we were 21, 22 at the time. And we was like, okay, I think it's time. It's okay to probably start. You can't get started too late in life is was our thing. And we're never ever going to be ready to have a baby.
Okay.
So we're gonna force the issue.
No.
Because at this point she's my fiance.
Yeah.
She was my fiance at this point. We had the marriage, the wedding scheduled, and we decided that we're gonna try. We're gonna try, man. About dog it. 1 month later.
Yeah.
I was excited because I was in graduate school, and she texted me a picture of the pregnancy stick.
Yeah.
And I got up in class, bro. I got up in class, and I was happy. I was like, bro, check this out. I was happy at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I just knew how such a grave mistake that we made earlier.
Yeah.
I just kind of want redemption.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, we could have made it, man.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do that. But now I'm like, okay, now that I'm about to really be a father. So it was exciting to me. At the same time, I was nervous. Like, I was like you get into a car for the first time. Like, I'm nice, I got a car, but okay, I'm in here now.
Yeah.
Where my keys at?
Okay.
How you turn it on?
Okay.
How you roll down the windows? How you put this thing in park? How you put this thing in reverse? Okay, give me a manual. Oh crap, man, there ain't no manual to this thing. There ain't no manual to it. So I'm real analytical with things. I like to do a lot of research with stuff. And so that's when I was like, there's no manual to it. And it was nerve-wracking for me because I didn't have any direction.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my wife had a talk, and we're just gonna get through it. We're going one day at a time. That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been gravy ever since that. It's been
Yeah.
great. I mean, I ain't gonna say all gravy, but
Yeah.
it's been exciting. It has been an adventure, very much so, an adventure. But the first one was planned.
Okay.
I okay, let me say that. The first child was planned. The second pregnancy was planned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old is your oldest now?
She's 8 now.
8.
She's
So
8.
you've been in the game for 8 years.
8 years, man. She's quite the child. I love her to death, man.
Yeah.
I love her. That's the easiest thing about parenthood.
Yeah.
Loving your children.
Yeah. Don't love them.
Yeah.
It don't matter how mad them jokers make you, or you gonna love them. And interesting thing about that is, you know, I always look at, you know, our relationship with our children, and I always say it helped me understand the love of God, because it's like, as much as my kids mess up, as much as my kids do wrong, as much, bro, I can tell them these same, I do tell them these same thing over and over and over and over and over, bro. It's like never ending, bro.
Right.
The same stuff, and they just don't do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they know they don't do it. Like
Right,
they know,
right.
like, dang, daddy just said this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna do it.
That's it.
Like, for real, bro. Like, and I just be like, what are y'all, like, bro, we just had this talk. And as
That's
mad
it.
as they can get me, you know, sometimes, you know, I put them in the bed, and I'm just mad. Boom, I go to sleep. Bro, that next morning, these kids wake up, and they come right back to me. Like nothing didn't even happen the previous night.
Isn't that crazy?
And then I'm just like, dang, them my babies. Like, and it's like, and then I can forget it, like,
Right.
oh yeah, I mean, these my kids.
Right.
You know,
right.
and it's like, man, how much if we're, as men, can do that. Think about God, bro.
I think about that frequently, man.
Bro.
I think about that dichotomy right there, and like frequently. You say it helps us understand the love of God. The love of God. It's, you don't really. I thought I had an idea of how much God loves us, but I didn't. I mean, to all those people who don't, you know, is not a father yet, or not a parent yet. It changes your perception on life, your perspective on life just changes. Everything that you cared about or once cared about, it just gets altered a little bit in a more honing way toward your children. And I feel whenever I get into a jam, or especially with my spiritual life, I'm like, man, how does God want me to react in this situation, or how does God want me to treat someone? I think about, okay, I literally think about the conversation that I have with my children, because I know that's the same kind of relationship that He has with us, and it's a one-of-a-kind, unconditional type of love that you don't, like I said, you don't understand until you're a parent. I thought I understood, but I didn't.
Yeah, you. and I don't think we can. I don't really think you can fathom it without having a child. Honestly, bro, you know, you just don't know. It's a whole different thing, you know. Like and that's why I count it as a blessing to be a father, because I honestly don't think that, you know, you can ever really understand, you know, when a child hasn't come from you, and you can look that child in the face and literally see yourself, bro. And everything that this child does, you see yourself in this child. And it's like, literally, bro, nothing can separate you from that child.
Right.
Nothing can separate your love. Like, nothing can take that love away from that child.
Right.
Bro,
right.
it's like, as mad as I'm talking about, bro, and children, and people that don't have children don't understand. Bro, it ain't nothing like your child that can make you mad. Boy, a child they know how to work your nerves.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, okay, you have people on the job that make you mad, but you ain't sleeping with them.
Right.
They don't live at your house.
Mm-hmm.
You're not responsible for that person. With your child, it's like, bro, they look to you for everything that they need. You have to take care of this child. You have to love. You have to nourish them. You are their parents. Your coworker ain't that.
Right. Right.
You know, even your wife ain't even that. You know, this child literally they can't even take care of themselves.
Right. Right.
So it's like, in that way, it's like there's nothing like a child that's yours, bro. So if you don't have that, bro, it's hard to, like they say, it's hard to for cops to simulate real life situations.
Right.
Bro, it ain't no simulating having this child. Boy, when that child is yours and they living, it ain't nothing else that you will know until you experience it.
Right.
You don't know, bro. It's,
and they always looking to you for guidance. And the thing is, your coworkers don't really look to you for guidance
at all.
It's a very, very special, the most special gift, other than my wife.
Yeah. Straight up.
Is being able to father children. It has been remarkable. Just the things that I have learned, and going back to God's love, I always want what's best for you. Know that you don't know that yet. Your parents tell you that all the time, right? I know what's best for you. I know what's best for you. Whatever, mom. You don't know nothing. You know that. You don't know nothing. I'm trying to tell you, stay away from that knife. Okay? You don't listen to me. Okay, now you just cut yourself. Pick up that glass slowly. Okay, you don't do that. You cut yourself. You know, don't look both ways when you cross the street. Okay, you don't do that. Okay, now I gotta save your life.
Okay. Straight up.
It's just one of those things. Like, God, we do stuff all the time that he don't like or that he cautions us against.
Straight up.
He loves us anyway, but he always wants what's best for us.
All right.
And so I'm just keep referring to that that analogy you gave, because that's exactly how I feel.
Nothing like it, bro. Man, I know we preaching today. Y'all should listen. If y'all don't understand, and it's another thing when you don't understand the love of God. And I know everybody that listen to this might not believe God and all that, but there's two believers right here. So we understand this love of God, bro. It's like, it just make you so grateful, you know, to know that regardless of what I do, you know, and for that reason, you don't want to take advantage of that, because you know, like, even though, you know, we'll go all day on that right
sure,
there.
We would.
I'm just stop right there because we're going to go for too long on this right here. But y'all just know the love that you have for your child is the same love that God has for you. I'm going to leave it there. If y'all want to know more about that, hit me up. But we going to stop because, boy, I know we going to go a little too long. Now that you know, so you have two girls, one girl.
8-year-old girl, 6-year-old boy.
Okay.
And now an almost 1-year-old boy.
So you went 2 years and then 5.
2 years. Yeah, boy, let me tell you that. When I last one, boy, snuck up on us, boy. like a snake, boy. I think snuck up on us, boy.
So what, you want more?
No, we done, man. We was content at 2.
Yeah,
we was content. I promise you, we were. But I say, God, we had other things in plan. Apparently, God had other things planned for us.
Yeah. So now that you got these 3 children, you have this wife, you work. How do you balance? How do you? You got these 24 hours in a day. How do you make time for all of these different things in your life? How do you balance that, bro?
They say that necessity is the father of invention. I believe that's how it goes. That's one of the more challenging things in my current life. That's more. It's a very difficult task, but how I manage it is having an extremely strong wife, and having a calendar.
Yeah.
If it ain't in the calendar, it's not getting done.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult to make time for yourself when you pull it in so many different directions. It's a beautiful thing to be busy, as long as you're being productive. This is what I usually say. These kids, they make it productive. They keep you busy and productive, and you never want to be busy and unproductive. My wife handles a lot of the coordinating extracurricular activities. Everything to do with the calendar, she basically handles. She does a lot of the cooking. I do a lot of the cleaning now.
Yeah.
No, I do a lot of the household stuff because I have 2 days typically off throughout the week. But she's grinding too. She's even busier than I am.
Yeah.
And it's challenging, but it's very rewarding because you can see the fruits. You can see as your children get older, the people that they're becoming. And it makes it seem as though all your work is not in vain. It's one thing, you know what I'm saying, you doing all this and you really can't see the fruits of it, but when you can see it, actually give you motivation to do more. Not only do more, but be more efficient in doing more, right? Or doing the same amount of work, but being more efficient with it. And that has been a golden ticket for me, is efficicy. Got the same amount of time, right? But you have to learn to do more in that time. But I'm not gonna lie. The children wouldn't be in half the stuff they are in if it weren't for my wife. Yeah. It's not. But so she kind of delegate things and let me just be the delivery man. All right. Yeah. Just tell me I'll go here. I'm gonna go there. When I leave work, I'm going there. You know.
Yeah.
On my days off, I'm at home. I'm taking care of the house. Whatever. I'm taking kids to karate or cheerleading or what have you, or Girl Scouts, all this other stuff, every other, and then you got this crying baby in the background, and it's a lot going on, but
I almost traumatized when you said it just now.
But it's very rewarding, man. I can't emphasize that enough. It's worth it to me, and sometimes I sit back and I'm like, if I was single and didn't have any kids, what on earth would I be doing?
For real.
I have no idea. I would be bored out of my mind. Trying to call friends and figure out what you're doing today. Everybody working these days, man. So I don't know. That's it. That's how I'm giving kudos to my wife for that question, man.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, man, to have that significant other there, because it can get hard, bro. Like, that's one of my biggest struggles is having. Now, I make do, like, now, my situation is different. Like, I handle a lot of that stuff, right? Like, setting this up and going it, like, I have to do a lot of that stuff, man. And it is draining, bro. It's
right.
Like, and that's why I give a lot of kudos to women that do that stuff, because I do it myself.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, it's definitely real. This is not for the weak heart.
Right.
It ain't for the weak hearted whatsoever, man. And I know there's a lot of people that would get in these situations and faint, bro, literally, because it's so hard, man, to keep, I think fatherhood ain't for the weak-hearted. Marriage definitely ain't for the weak-hearted. Like, I say it to every man out there, listen, Boy, if you ain't got the stomach and a strong mind, just stay single. Just keep your time and stuff to yourself, you know. And I tell people this all the time, you know, just don't put the woman through that.
Right.
If you know you ain't ready for that, don't put that woman through that, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you ain't got kids yet, keep them kids where they at. You know, because you don't want to put those kids through that.
Right.
You know, if you ain't ready for this type of stuff, man, it's real. Man, this boy, you talking about balancing this time, because you got to think, like, and you like me, 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you have to literally make time. I know it's something that I intentionally do. I try to have time with every one of my children individually.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make time just to spend with my son.
Right.
I have a son and 2 girls. I want to make time to just spend with my oldest daughter. And I want to make time for my youngest daughter, where it's just me and her.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, imperative, if you married up to listen, make time for your wife.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not, you will probably be divorced after a while. And I'm just letting y'all know that. You know, because there was a time in my life where I didn't make time for my wife. And I paid for it.
Right.
You know,
right.
Our marriage was on the rocks. Literally, I'm talking about when we finna fall off them rocks.
Right.
You know? So it's very difficult to make that time. And then if you work, you better make time for that job. 'Cause if you don't make time for your job, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be divorced from them too.
Right.
They're gonna kick you to the curb. You know? And then you got other things, extracurricular activities. You gotta make time for yourself. And that's I say that's my biggest problem. I never really make time for myself.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people always tell me, you know, bro, you gotta really make time for yourself.
Right.
And that's something that I've started doing, you know. And I wanted to ask you that. How do you make time for yourself? You know, because over the years, I found myself just being so inactive, like physically, you know, like I was always playing basketball, you know, hooping, just going out doing this and that. But over the years, man, I just found myself, like last year, bro, I played basketball one time, bro.
Yeah.
And it ain't hit me until one day. I'm like, dog, when was the last time I actually played?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, dang, bro, I ain't played basketball in a whole year.
Right. It's easy to neglect yourself, man. It's real easy when you got so much going on and you have so much to provide for. You can, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all right. My wake up call was when I went to the doctor and they told me my A1C was going up. That means basically your sugar levels, like you're getting close to being a diabetic. And I was like, hold up now. I know I picked up a couple pounds.
Yeah.
You know, I picked or whatever. But I was like, oh, something gotta change. If I don't take care of my health, the whole rodeo stops. You know what I'm saying? Everything stops. So I just, like I said, it's important for me. I have like 2 days off typically throughout the week. That's how I'm able to get my time in. That's when I actually picked up running 2 years ago, and that's what I do. On my days off, I just run. And that has been, it's been extremely calming for me, as you know, as far as like relaxation wise. I can sit back as I'm running, listen to podcasts, can we talk as I'm running or something like that, and go to the doctors, everything. I mean, I lost the weight back and my numbers are back to normal. But I think that was a reality check for me. But like, okay, Andre, don't get so preoccupied with life when you're neglecting your own personal life. And the hardest thing for me, you were saying, one of the hard things for me is making time for each individual child. Yeah. Now, a lot of times, I made a promise to myself, Andre, I'm gonna make more time for my children this coming year. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. And it's one thing when you have them all together. That's frequently frequently happens to have them individually. To have that individual time is important, but that's something I lack in because they are pretty much always together.
Yeah,
so fortunately, my son has karate. He does that by himself.
Yeah.
My daughter has cheerleading. She does that by himself. And little Lennox, sometimes, the baby, he don't really care right now.
Baby.
He don't really care right now. But so I try to capture those moments. I try to be uninterrupted in those moments so I can pay attention to them and engage with them during that time. So they know when they look up, when they doing that punch or when they doing that flip, they look up, they see daddy there. Their daddy paying attention and rooting them on. I think that does more for their subconscious than any school can. As far as character development.
That's real.
So I just that's a great point, but making individual time for them because they want to know that in their little minds they think their world is all about them. Right? Yeah. They're worried about who cares about me? They don't care about your electricity bill. They don't care about rent. They don't care about none of that
at all.
They just want to know does daddy care about me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does mommy care about me? And the way that you can show them that is having uninterrupted time with them. Or showing them that you care about the things that they care about. Because a lot of times, you can't get them, you won't get children to, a lot of times, to care about things you care about. From my experience, it doesn't happen. So you have to care about things they care about. Let me tell you, Lord have mercy. If I hear about this Roblox one more time. Roblox, Among Us. It's 2 little video games that they play now, but that's my son really enjoys it. So I have to engage into that aspect of his life because if you notice, when you start talking to him about cars or you start talking to him about something that he don't care about, he's gonna tune out. He's gonna start spacing out. Yeah. But you get into him with some Roblox, he gonna engage. He's gonna engage. Like, oh, daddy's talking to me. Oh, I'm gonna talk back. He can actually, you communicating with him now. So that's been a huge tip I've learned as a father to care about what they care about.
That's real.
You know, the same thing with my daughter. I think it's gonna be pretty much the case for all children, from my perspective.
That's real. That's real. Man, I was playing. I got my son a Nintendo 64, and I bought him a little wrestling game. Man, I went in his room last week and played that game with him. This man was in heaven.
Yeah,
he was just so into it, and I'm just like looking at him the whole time while we playing. He would just get him, daddy. Oh, I'm gonna get. I'm just like, this man is into this thing. He just now every day he's like, daddy, you wanna play WWE? Yeah. I mean, if I get a little time, let me get my work done. Right. Then I'll come play with you for 10 minutes.
Right. Right.
He enjoy it.
If you instill, those, and this is, memories are created not from actions, but actions and emotions.
That's real.
So if they are actively engaged with you and they have creating an emotional bond with you, doing something they love to do, that's something they're going to remember.
That's real.
Growing up. You think about all your childhood memories growing up. Typically, it has a lot of strong emotion or some activity and strong emotion with it, especially the powerful memories that you have. So when they look back, like, oh, I remember, man, when my dad used to play WWE with me, playing Nintendo 64. We had a good time. But you think, you can spend. Thing is, you can spend all this money going to Disney World and Lego World and all this stuff, but if you are not engaging into what they want to do, even at the park, it probably won't be a good memory for them. And this is why we're in this thing, basically, to give our children good memories and foster, and to have them be good characters, basically, to have good characteristics. And I found that to be like the epitome of what I want to do as a father.
That's real. That's real, man. Y'all fathers out there listening, man, listen. Spend time with your children. Create those bonds. Create that time with them because time is limited. It's a precious commodity. And you ain't getting it back once it's gone.
That's it.
So I gotta say that to y'all, man.
Money come and go, but that time, we're gonna keep on.
Okay.
Keep clock ticking. Can't get
Yes,
that
sir.
back.
Have you ever experienced the negative stereotypes of black fathers? Have you ever felt that or noticed it?
I was like more of a black man, but rather black father. The only thing I can think of in regards to that, like off the spot, is like going to the grocery store, right? And you have your 3 children with you. People looking at you kind of strange.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to seeing it. They're not used to seeing it. And I found that people will engage. Like people will, like especially, like the older ladies or whatever. They
Okay.
like,
You talking.
they so cute.
You talking.
Keep in mind, they people that would never talk to you.
Okay.
If you didn't have your children with you, but they see a black father. Okay. All of a sudden, I am less intimidating, right? All of a sudden, I care about society because I care about my children. And it just the extra eyeballs that I get from like walking the store with my 3 children is, I mean, probably the only thing I can really think of that I've experienced as a black father. That's because I just don't think it's common. I mean, think about the last time you saw a father alone, not with his wife, go into the store with his children. It's just doesn't look. It's just not very common. So
that's real. That's real, and it's so funny that you say that because that's the stuff. Those are some of the reasons why I started this podcast. You know, because I felt like, you know, there's other fathers out there like me. You know, because I would get those same looks, and you know, I get the whole, you know, we get the, oh, you know, so you know, so cute that dad is out with the kids, like,
right,
always out with my kids. My wife at work, it's
It's
my children, you know, and it's like I always say I do understand the sentiment, you know, I do understand that, you know, in the past it wasn't something that happened,
right.
I do understand that, and I do understand, you know, that there are a lot of fathers that aren't handling their business like they should. I do understand. I promise I understand it. But then my thing always be, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Like, guy I listen to named Sho Baraka. Sho Baraka said in one of his songs, he had this one liner. He says, "I'm getting praised for activities a father should perform." And when he said that in the song, I'm like, I'm getting praised for activities that a father should perform. Ain't nothing that I'm doing special.
Right.
Ain't nothing extravagant and extraordinary about what I'm doing. I am literally bringing my kids to the grocery store because we need some food at the house. Like, what the heck?
Right.
Like, we need some bread at the house.
Oh my goodness, this just happened. Like what? I think yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was talking to my wife and my son had woke up and he was like, "Mommy, I made up my bed and I ate my breakfast and I'm all ready for school." So on the driving to school, she's like, "So, Mommy, can I get something from the dollar store? Can I get something from the dollar store since I did my chores?" My wife say, "Son, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not going to reward you every time you do something that you're supposed to do." Now, the minute that you start expecting something for something you're supposed to do, that's the minute you don't get anything.
Straight up.
But yeah, so it just reminded me of that. Just wanting, or not necessarily wanting something, but getting stuff for something that you're supposed to do. It's a culture thing that we have to change, and the only way we can change it is by doing it more.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, and the next part, I'm gonna have to paraphrase it. The next part of that verse in that song, he said, "Get the praise for activities a father should perform." Then he said something like, thank you, but is there grace for me? Is there grace for me when I'm broken and feeling shameful? And he's speaking in terms of just being a dad. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I get praise for all of these things that I should be doing
Right.
when I do that. But is there grace for me? When I'm tired, you know, and I'm broken and beaten down, you know, when I'm worn down by life, you know, when I'm not doing everything right, you know, when I'm struggling with this thing called life, when I'm struggling with fatherhood, when I'm struggling as a husband, you know, is there grace for me in those times? Because I'm trying, definitely trying every day. So when I fall short, is there grace for me? And a lot of times there isn't for fathers. You know, because I know there's so many men out here that, you know, we try so hard, you know, and it's something that I deal with personally. Everybody see this great man, you know. People look at the Facebook and like, oh, okay, you know, they see me with my kids, they see me with my wife, you know, and I get so much praise on the daily. You know, for doing what I just do. You know, it's just my life. But people like my wife see me every day. She see the times when I ain't the best father. You know, she see and she hears me when I can sit down and talk with her and express how I know so many things that I feel like. You know, I'm very self-conscious. You know, I know at times, you know, I ain't reading to my father, to my children like I could, like I should, or even like I used to. You know, I'm not. You know, at times, you know, I wasn't playing the video games with my son. The reason why I went to play with him last week, because I had just talked with my wife the previous week. Like, my son came to me one day, and he was like, Daddy, can we go outside and throw the football? And I was, bro, listen, I was so tired of that.
Beat, man.
Bro. I was so tired, bro. I'm talking about, man, like, I was just worn out, bro. Mentally, just tired, bro. I'm just being honest, bro. Like, I'm tired, so worn out, man. And it was on a Thursday. Thursdays are my long days. Thursdays are days where my wife works from 11 to 8. So when I get off work, I go straight to pick up the kids like I do every day. But then I'm with the kids for the rest of the day. Ain't no break.
Daddy, can I get this? Daddy, can I
Man,
get this?
bro. And it was just, when he said that day, and I just told her, I was like, man, Daddy tired.
Right.
He was like, we don't know throw the football no more. And I felt so bad in that moment, bro.
Yes, sir.
Felt so bad. And I went out there and I threw the football with him for a little while. And that took away from I'm like, bro, I just want to lay down right now. I want y'all to just go in the room and just let Daddy get a peace of mind for a quick second. Like, I'm on the edge right now.
And that's why I said that phrase that you just said by that artist is powerful, right? Because you said, do we get grace? And a lot of times, actually, we don't, because that's what it is expected of us, right? When people see a black father, that's what you're gonna be in that room playing video games, or you're gonna be in that room ignoring your children, right? That's not allowed, right? Because for a good father, that's what they expect from you, right? You can't just have a time to yourself where all of a sudden now man, he's just another black father not doing nothing with his children.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's a weird situation that we're in. We gotta be 100 all the time.
All the time.
But it's good that sometimes you don't have to care about public perception, right?
That's real. So real, bro.
It's about what them kids think and what my wife think.
All right.
And other than that, the rest is for the birds. You ask me.
That's real. And what's so important about that? And I give my wife so much credit for this. She never beat me down about that stuff. I beat myself down about it. And then my wife, she always just like, it is, you know, it's all good. Like, you know, I mean, do what you can, you know.
Right.
And as much as you can, make the time.
That's
you know?
it.
Like, but we all got stuff we can work on.
That's it.
And it just always bring me back.
That's wonderful, man. I was talking about this the other day. We get this for some, I'm gonna say good fathers, or fathers out there.
Yeah.
We get this guilt trip when we don't entertain our children. We're not at least for me.
Yeah.
When I'm not able to throw my kids around the trampoline or throw them in the pool or do anything with them, I feel guilty inside. I'm supposed to be there to entertain them. You know what I'm saying? That they look for daddy for entertainment. You know, at least a source of entertainment. Then I had to think, man. I was like, fathers are not. It should not be synonymous with entertainment. I'm not here to entertain you, right? As a father, I'm here to instill values in you, to make sure you are the best citizen and the best person that you can be, especially in God's eyes. But sometimes I get that confused. Granted, you want to spend time with you want to engage. That's good, but at the end of the day, I'm not here solely to just entertain you. You know what I'm saying? So I shouldn't feel guilty because I can't play football or because I can't throw the football around. Because I need time for myself too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here for more than just to throw the football around. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take care of myself in order to do that. I gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure we got a roof over our heads.
That's real.
But I don't. It's curious to me why we have that sense of, especially daddy. Can you come outside and play? And we gotta feel all bad about it. We shouldn't do that. I don't think we should.
Real.
But granted, when you have time, you should definitely do it.
Yeah,
I truly believe that. But that's here or there. I can keep rambling about that.
Yeah, and so man, that's when I tell you it's a struggle for me, man. Like that guilt trip is so real. You know? I feel guilty when and I talk to so many people. You know, sometimes I ain't even necessarily talking about that. I was on a podcast called Surviving. It ain't come out yet, so y'all be looking forward to that, man. There's these women out in Miami. It's like some mothers. They got like a motherhood podcast, and I guess they seen me on Instagram, and they were like, they wanted to invite some fathers on to talk some fatherhood or whatever.
Right,
so,
right.
As we were talking on the podcast, they I was telling them my daily routine, and then one of the women was like, "When do you come in?" I was like, "I don't really." And they were like, "That's not good."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's not good." And they was like, "As women, we don't get guilty."
Right.
I was like,
they don't, man, they don't.
But listen, they was like, when we need time, we gonna get our time.
Right.
And we ain't feeling guilty. We got to be in that bathroom. We got to go lay in that bed and be on our phone, whatever.
Go entertain yourself.
Exactly. And they was like, so we think that she was like, it was good, to hear this from a dad, because from a mother's perspective, we don't really think about the dad perspective.
Right.
And I was just kind of telling them, I do feel guilty at times for taking a break. Just saying, man, I'm not here.
Right.
And a lot of times it's just hard, I'm dealing with this podcast. I got school.
Right.
That's never ending.
Right.
For right now. Working, and I work in the warehouse.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
physically demanding.
bro. Then I got my graphic design stuff that I do. So if something like that come up, then that's something that I gotta put on top of the load. Then ministry, people come to me with ministry questions. Just gotta be a servant.
Right.
And stuff like that. All of that stuff into one, man. It's tiring, bro.
It is, man.
And I have for the last few weeks been getting a little better.
That's good, man.
With just saying, you know what? I'm gonna make this time for myself.
Yes,
and I ain't apologizing for it. And it's been feeling good to know just like, man, I just telling my wife, hey, man, listen, babe, I'm about to go to this basketball game tonight. Kids staying home. Because in times past, you know, even when I go to the basketball game, I got all the kids with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dang. And a lot of times I would do that because I want to give my wife
a break, too.
A break. So I still do that stuff, but there's times when I know I done gave her breaks throughout the week. Man, listen, babe, it's Friday. I'm going to be at the game tonight, so I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Right.
And just practicing on, I ain't feeling bad about it. She going to be all right, you know, and
Right.
come home, my wife is all right. She in the bed chilling. The kids sleep, they good. I had my time to myself, and now I can come home. I really love my wife.
Exactly.
Man, I want to go there, bro. I want to go to marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to go to marriage, bro.
Favorite part right there.
Hey, how has marriage been, man? Talk about the dynamic of marriage, you know, and how talk about it from your perspective, man.
Yeah.
How has marriage been to you?
Dude, I mean, I have such an awesome wife, man.
Yeah.
I think I cannot like overestimate. I can't oversay it. You know, I have a awesome wife. We have been married now for going on 10 years. 10-year anniversary this year. And it has been great, man. I mean, if I had to put a percentage on it, you know, it'd be like 97% good,
Yeah, okay.
2% shaky,
Yeah.
1% bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I think we had a lot of things early in our marriage that we had to iron out to set the foundation for a good growth track. The biggest, especially with having kids, the biggest thing for us was communication. It was, and that's. But every time we had an argument, we always was able to narrow the root down to communication.
Yeah.
One way or another, it was falling in that gap. So I was like, okay, we got to figure this out. And it took a long time, but men and women communicate totally different. That's what made it hard. Because we communicate totally different. We don't think to communicate when we should, and they think you should communicate. They should know when you should communicate based on when they think you should communicate. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how we just don't think like that. So once we got that ironed out, it's been smooth sailing, man. I can't even picture or fathom a better marriage in my eyes.
Yeah.
Especially juggling the kids, trying to be on one accord with everything. Because the kids can't see division, they can't see, you know, arguing, they can't see a lot of things. You gotta kind of keep that kind of tucked in, so they always know that mommy and daddy loves each other. You know what I'm saying? So I just love it. I mean, it's been all, but like I said, mostly good, man. It's mostly great, actually. It's been amazing from my aspect.
That's real, man. Marriage is like you say, those early years, man, it's hard.
Well, I'm about to throw out the window a couple times, bro. I open up the window.
Those early years, man, they be there. But I think they're the most important years, man. Those early, hard years. Because, like, when you look at it, you know, like you said, I think this year we hit 9 years. And maybe we'll hit 9 years. Marriage is 2011, 2020. Yeah, we hit 9 years this year. And those beginning years were, like, such a hard, they were shaky.
Yeah, man.
Shake. And then, you know, having kids and those early years, getting used to having children and all that.
Right.
But I would say now, going into our 9th year, man, we've learned to communicate.
Right.
That communication is like
everything, man.
It's at the top of it. If there's a ladder,
right.
It's at the top of the ladder, but it ain't nothing more important than it, man. That communication and understanding the dynamic of a woman. Man, they're different, bro. They're different creatures.
That's it,
bro.
man. So I don't even, at this point in my life, I don't even try to understand. I mean, I just try to observe and collect patterns, basically. And I go off those patterns. I don't even try to understand them no more. Because somebody said, like, men have minds like boxes. I forget who said this. Boxes that's connected by one string, right? And in order to get something out the next box, you have to close this box. Yeah. Shove it to the side and open this new box, one thing at a time. Yeah. Right. And sometimes when you're having a conversation, okay, I'm in this one box, but you then you start going into a different box. Now I'm not paying attention no more because I gotta close this box up first. Let me close this box up. It's a way of thinking that they're not used to because their brains are like. You ever seen those wire brushes? Yeah. I forget what they call. Whatever. It's like a spool of spaghetti. Yeah. Right. They don't have boxes. No such thing. Yeah. It's just a whole bunch of spaghetti wrapped around each other in a big old ball. Everything is connected. They can see. They can see how this person's life is connected to this person's child's school. They can just do it. And it's all based upon emotion. Mm-hmm. Everything with them is based upon emotion. So once I realized that my brain is just not wired like theirs, I stopped trying to assume, right? I just cut it off. I'm like, okay, here's where communication come in. Yeah. Let me get clarification. So you want me to go to the store and pick up an onion. Okay? Yeah. Now, what kind of onion are you looking for? Yeah, okay. Cause they already know. Okay, in their mind, I'm thinking of a yellow onion. Okay. So when I come home with a Vidalia onion, you get upset with me. That's just bad communication there. You didn't tell me what kind of shredded cheese to buy. Okay. So I got the generic. You know we ain't never get no generic shredded cheese. We gonna get shredded cheese and shoot. That's it. But once I understood that aspect of it, like I said it's been life changing for me. And not only that, is that whenever we got in an argument, we have to realize that I always looked at my wife. We learned it at one of our marriage seminars. You have to look at your wife as a full-length mirror, right? She is there, from my perspective now. She is there to reflect the imperfections in you, right? So when there's a problem, there's not a problem with her. There's a problem with you. Look deep down. It's hard. Look deep down to find out what are you doing wrong. What could you be doing better before trying to accuse her? That's real. Long as I do that, man. That's real. We had maybe one argument over the past 3 years or something like that. And it's been fantastic, man. But it's hard to do because because we're prideful creatures. You know what I'm saying? We're prideful, right? We want talk. That ain't. Look, you wrong. You did this. You know you wrong for that. I don't know why I gotta explain this, and it's never gonna get anywhere. Just building up tension. But once you flip that mirror around, okay. I guess I could have said that better. I guess I could have picked up the phone and told her I was going to be there another 30 minutes. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I guess I could have called her and asked her what kind of onion to get. That's real. Just little things like that. It makes all the difference. In my marriage, it has. And just picking up little clues like that has been why. I believe we have a wonderful marriage. That's real, man.
And I love to hear that, man. You know, I love to hear because y'all. How old is your wife?
31.
So we all about the same age. Right. Me, you, my wife, your wife. I love to hear those a testimony like that of marriage because people try to paint these pictures that marriage don't work or something or you can't get married when you're young and all of these, and I know y'all probably heard some of that same stuff. You gotta live your life.
Right. That's it. That's exactly what
say all these things, but we living testimonies of that, bro. marriage can work. Marriage, it ain't the fact. It's never the fact that the marriage ain't working. Marriage is marriage.
Right.
It's
you.
You know, and that's what we have to get in our heads. It ain't the fact that I don't care if you get married and you 20, you 19.
Right.
If your marriage don't work, it ain't because marriage don't work. It's because you ain't worked
Right.
out with marriage.
Exactly.
You didn't understand some things about marriage and about relationships and about your wife or your husband.
Yes, sir.
It's always y'all and not marriage. And people put it on marriage. Marriage ain't this. Marriage ain't that. Man, I love man. I've had my ups and downs with it. I've had my hard times, you know. But through it all, marriage has made me a better man.
Absolutely.
I've learned so much. Like you say about learning, looking at your wife. Man, I've learned so much about myself through my wife.
It's amazing, man. It's absolutely amazing.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna go to preaching again. So
Bro, listen. Boy, and the one thing I love about my wife she ain't afraid to tell me about myself. She gonna give me the 110% real version of what I need to. She gonna tell me straight up, you just don't like being wrong.
Yeah.
And she gonna tell me straight about you. That's your problem. You just don't like being wrong. You don't want you mad right now because you wrong.
Right. And
you trying everything in your power to not just be like, you know what, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And then when she say something like that, I be mad. Well, what you mean? And then once I, cause I very prideful, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to stuff like I don't be wanting to be wrong, cause I just be like, dang, bro, she right about something else.
Yeah.
And honestly, bro, sometimes I just don't want to give her the satisfaction.
That's it.
Knowing she was right.
Bro, pride is the biggest.
Bro.
It will rip a marriage in half, man.
Oh my God. Like, I just don't be wanting to give her the satisfaction to know, like, dang. And lately, I honestly been working. Maybe like start last year, like because we had a rough patch last year, and I had to really take that into consideration. Like, man, you know what, bro, just be wrong, bro.
Right.
And like my wife had to explain to me also. She told me one day, because we had this situation. It was so petty, bro.
It's always petty looking back at it.
So petty, bro. So we had just moved into the house. This is last September. We had just moved into the house or whatever. I think I left in the morning to take the kids to school. It was a Monday. I'm off on Mondays. I took the kids to school. Most of the time when I take the kids to school, I come back home. She's gone. She's going to work.
Right.
So I got back home. The door was unlocked. So I'm like, hey, bro, she just gonna leave the door unlocked? So I text her like, you left the door unlocked, right? She was like, I didn't go out the door. I went through the garage. I'm like, so, okay, I understand that. But why didn't you look at least check and see if the door was unlocked? Yeah. She was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could have did that, but you left the door unlocked because you went out that door.
Right.
And I'm like, but I know that you was home.
Yeah.
She was like, you knew I was home, but even if I am home, you should always lock the door behind yourself because you don't know if I could be in there taking a shower or when in sleep. You should lock the door. That got me hot. I ain't even gonna front. That thing got me hot. I was like, so I'm kind of like, man, what you mean? Like, you should be, anytime you leave the house, you should always look and check and see if the door's unlocked. She was like, and I told you I understand that. Right. But you still, we ain't talking about that. I told you that, okay, I took responsibility for that. Right. I'm telling you that you left the door unlocked. Right. And you just still haven't acknowledged that. So we went on and on. I took it to a whole other place where it shouldn't have even went. Exactly. And after like 10 minutes of us texting, arguing, she was just like, I can't believe, like, this is so childish. You going on and on and on about nothing. Yeah, man. And I was just like, I just had to sit back and look and be like, bro, all I could have just said is, you know what, you right, babe. Next time I lock the door. So simple,
She
bro.
would have had a nice day. You would have had a nice day. Everybody would. Oh, you got to knock that pride down. That's a hard thing to do as a man.
So easy, bro. Ever since then, I lock the door every time.
Yeah.
Simple stuff,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Like, it's the most simple thing. Because she was like, in the mornings, I don't go out the front door. I just go out the garage.
Right.
Okay, cool. Man, bro, it's the most...
That's how
Marriage be that simple,
exactly,
bro.
exactly.
Man.
And I think the reason why some marriages don't work is because those little things don't go unaddressed,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they just start to add up. Little things like simple stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
onions and and door unlocked and stuff
Yeah.
like that start to unlock. All of a sudden, you start to build this animosity toward her. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The animosity toward a lifelong partner, and
Alright.
that's never a recipe for success.
No.
But yeah, I'm glad you shared that story, man, because I mean, and knowing how to, looking back at it, how to address it now.
That's
You know what I'm
real.
saying, learning from your mistakes, and keep on pressing on, because there's gonna be more. But
okay. You already know it. But yeah, so for all y'all out there that's listening,
yes, sir.
that are either married or even thinking about getting married, right? It's a simple thing. Very simple, but it's hard also. Simple but hard.
Very hard.
And I say hard because it's hard to cast down your pride and just tell yourself, man,
Ain't that
she
simple?
right.
Yeah.
and I promise, bro, everything will be so
Cool.
much like, and it's just simple. It ain't
right.
it ain't the end of the world because I was wrong
Right.
or, and some people might say, well, it wasn't wrong. She still could. Man, bro, listen. All that technical stuff don't matter.
That's it.
I can leave out the door when I take my kids to school and lock the door.
Right.
Simple as that.
I love
Problem
it.
solved.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
Great example, man.
Problem solved, man. So, what's one aspect of parenting that you want to be better at?
I want to, growing up, it just wasn't, most people had this story of, had a lot of money growing up, whatever. But I think struggling growing up instilled a lot of values in me.
Mm-hmm.
Hard work, dedication, motivation, persistence, perseverance. All these things was molded to me through experience that I had to go through. And I worked hard to make sure that my children don't go through that, right? Hard thing for me is to instill those same values in my children without having them going through those experiences. It is extremely, extremely difficult because sometimes the best teacher is experience, and they don't really understand what struggle is or why do you need motivation, why do you need persistence, you know what I'm saying, if they haven't had to really use it. So you're trying to mold it in different aspects of their life so they can have those characteristics growing up. They were beneficial for me. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I know, so I'm gonna try to put that in my children. I'm gonna try to put all the positive that I've done in my life and try to instill that to them. Not only that, man, engaging into all aspects of the child, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Trying to engage into them is something that I tag into each one of those as a father is something that I really need to hone in on and be better at. Be better at. So that's something I'm working on, man. It's just it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
That's real. Hey, man, we all got something to work on, man. And I think it's just important to realize those things and, day by day. Like, it's an everyday thing. Every day we're working toward that. But it's hard to work towards something that you don't know that you're working toward. Like, when you ain't got nothing, like, you got to have a goal. You got to be conscious about it and intentional about it. Like, this thing right here, I want to spend more time with my kids. Boom, okay, that's a goal. Now, put that into action and start structuring a schedule out for yourself. Carving time. because I do say, I say this right here. At times, we'll say stuff like, I didn't have time to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's not the fact that we didn't have time. We didn't make time
That's
for
it.
it.
Exactly.
And so that'd be my focus. Like, instead of trying to find time, because when you trying to find it, you ain't gonna never find it.
That's it.
That thing gonna remain hidden. But
That's
when you
it.
say, you know, I'm gonna make time,
Mm-hmm.
you can make it. If you intentional about it, you can carve that into, okay, I'm gonna make time for this. I ain't finding it. If I can have this, I couldn't find it. I looked for it. You know, we'll say that.
Right.
But yeah, so everybody got something they can work on, man. You know, so y'all, I pray that all my brothers out there listening, you know, find that something that you can work on and work toward it, because we all can be better, you know. But if we don't recognize that we can be better, we'll never try to be better.
That's it. That's it.
So, boom, few more questions, man. What do you want your kids to remember about you?
Dang. Oh, that's a good one right there. I just want them, man, to really know that Daddy always had their best interest in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy would sacrifice his own life for his children. I want them to know that. Daddy would sacrifice his own life for his children.
Straight up.
And if they could remember that, man, and just know, not only that, man, and know that I'm always there for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to stop being a daddy. I'm never going to stop. So if they can just get those concepts in their mind, man, I will consider like my fatherhood journey and pretty successful, man.
That's
right.
right.
They can talk to me about anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be able to talk to me about anything.
That's real.
Yeah, that was a hard question, though, bro.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Trying to leave that legacy
Right,
behind.
that's
man.
it.
That's real. What's your favorite TV dad, and which TV dad are you most like?
Explain TV dad. What are you talking about?
Like, you know, Family Matters.
Oh my goodness, I got you.
You know,
I got
all
you.
your daddies on TV. Carl Winslow.
Ooh, man. Man, if I had to pick one real, I'm going Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil.
I'm going Uncle Phil. I'm going Uncle Phil all day, man. That man, he had a different, he had a personality where he was stern, he was kind of strict. He had comical kind of sides to him. But at the end of the day, you know Uncle Phil was a good father.
All right.
Nobody can question the fact that Uncle Phil was a good father.
Straight
so
up.
when you look at me, I want you, all things aside,
Straight up.
just know that I handled my business and I know I was a good father.
Yeah.
So that's what, I mean, Uncle Phil, man.
Yeah.
He took care of his business. That's good. I like
real.
that one.
That's real, man. If you could give the 18-year-old version of Andre one piece of advice, what would you say to that young man?
$18-year-old Andre, boy. Hey, when you see this girl on campus named Rethea Felder, make sure you cop her. Right? Don't think twice about it, right?
Okay.
Go ahead and marry her as soon as possible.
Okay.
And invest early.
Okay.
Not only invest financially, invest in yourself spiritually, invest in yourself educationally, and invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you'd be a whole lot better. That's something I didn't really do growing up then. I didn't think about myself. I invest in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it, man. That's what I would tell him.
That's real.
And hopefully he take it in heed.
That's real. That's real.
Take it and go with it, baby.
Just go with it. Invest in yourself. Please, 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 please. We don't say nothing else today. Please, dads, or anybody else out there listening, invest in yourself, please. You know, because for those of us that are parents, your children will appreciate that once they get older. And you will also appreciate that as you get older.
Right.
And those around you will appreciate that as you get older. Everyone will benefit from you investing in yourself. Because if you don't invest in yourself, you will never be who you could be. Because we all can be something great, but if you're not investing in yourself, you're going to be just who you are right now, forever.
That's it.
And it's probably something less if you don't begin to invest in yourself, because you eventually start to move backwards. And that's what we don't want, man. So invest in yourself.
Also, standing still is the
Okay.
same as moving backwards.
Okay, straight up, man.
Only way, you gotta keep on investing. The more birthdays you have, the more you should keep on investing.
That's real. That's so real, man. So, one more question, man. For any, if there's any dad out there listening right now, man, what's one thing you would say to them? What's one thing you want to say to the dads out there?
Children are a gift, not a burden.
That's real.
I can leave it real simple like that. Children are a gift, not burdens. It's easy to get them mixed up sometimes. That's when they start asking for stuff and they start getting real annoying. But it's been so treat them as such. Treat them how you treat your the best gift that you've ever received in your life. Think about how you treated that gift. Whether you just throw it on the floor and step all on it, probably not. You probably have it on a. If you use it every day, you probably take really good care of it. You know what I'm saying? You probably cherish it. You probably want it to last for a long time. Just try to. But if you get that old, cup for Christmas, this might maybe not be the, or somebody give you a fish for Christmas. It's more or less a burden. I gotta work for that. You may not treat that one. May not let that one die.
Straight up.
But yeah, I think that's a good. I can give you so many tips like that, but I think that'd be the one for father. I think that's misconstrued sometimes. Sometimes you get wrapped up in our own lives and forget that children are one of the greatest gifts that we could possibly have in this world.
That's real. Spoken like a true father, man. Spoken like a true father. But yeah, man, that's it for the day, man. That was I think we covered all our bases today. This right here was good, man. I learned so much just sitting down with you, Brian. You an encouragement to me, to see you continuing to push forward, man, and continuing to be great. Every time I see another great father out there, man, that just gives me even more encouragement to keep on pushing, man, because I know that, the next generation looking at us. Right. The next generation depends on us, man. So when I see another brother in action with me, man, I can't do nothing but show love, bro.
That's it,
real
man.
for real.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. Nice to get up. I love what you're doing. The concept is absolutely amazing. The implementation has been flawless, so just keep it up, man. Just keep it up and keep recruiting. As long as you need me, man, I'll be a supporter of the channel as long as possible.
Straight up.
As long as you keep this going, and because it's gonna be a great thing. Because when you get on TV, bro, don't be forgetting about it.
Okay, for real.
In fact, we're gonna work on this 4K camera for you, boy. We're gonna work on the 4K camera for him.
we gonna get that this year. That's a goal for Dad. Can we talk? We gonna get y'all some good video content, man. But right now we gonna work with what we got,
and we can dig it.
Right now. Yeah. So, hey, man, we gonna continue pushing, man. Another shout out to my man T Whitey, man, for lending us this great space at 6 o'clock studios, man. I can't thank my brother enough, man. You know, this is definitely it's top of the line. It's nice, man. Yeah, listen, good brother right there, man. So I just want to send another shout out to my man T. Whitey. Shout out to all my dads out there, all my supporters, man. Y'all are everything, man. Y'all keep this thing going. Y'all keep it pushing, man, and y'all continue to do what y'all do, man. Continue to be great. All the other fathers out there, man. Just continue doing what we're doing. That's all we can do. Continue pushing, continue walking, continue running. Keep it moving.
Right.
We cannot become discouraged and feel like we want to stop, man.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah, man. This episode 42. We'll be back again next. I won't be back next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks, man. So, yeah, y'all be looking forward for March. I'm planning a big round table with some leaders of the community, man. It's gonna be we're gonna call it the State of the Nation. And when I say the nation, I want this to be a something for all of our black men, black fathers. We're gonna talk about the state of our nation, you know, of our community, because I believe that we need a space that's for us.
Right.
Someplace where we can come and talk with one another. Everyone that comes and is a part of this is going to be from different parts of the community. And we're going to sit down. We might have some differences, and we're going to talk those differences out like men should. And we're going to come up with solutions. So y'all stay tuned for that, man. Probably either the 2nd week in March or the 4th week in March. So, yeah, we're in the planning stages of that, man. So that's gonna be big, man. It's gonna be powerful, man. So y'all stay tuned for that right there.